Is it 6:30, that clock right?
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Oh, that clock behind. Okay, we'll call the Forestville Town Annual Meeting to order on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023 at 6:30. Roll call, please.
Roy Engelbert.
Here.
Larry Huber.
Here,
Jason Clahach.
Here.
I'm Ruth Kirscher. Dina Schmidt. Here. Kevin Gillett.
here,
Bill and Joanne Bungle.
here,
Lauren Eker.
here.
Gary Vandertyne. Joe Kirscher. And Randy. That's okay.
Okay, thank you. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Has this been properly noted, the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll review the minutes from April 19th, 2022.
Well, the minutes were posted on the website following last year's meeting. We approved them, I think it's May meeting. Didn't we? Or did we?
I think we usually wait for this meeting. We probably did. I should check.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'd seen them.
yeah. You want me to just? go
Yeah,
through it?
right.
Yeah, yeah, the review.
Yeah, the roll call, there was Roy Engelbert, Jason Clahach, Larry Huber, Dina Schmidt, and myself. And the notices were posted for the meeting called to order by Chairman Roy Engelbert at 6:30, and roll call was taken. The Pledge of Allegiance was recited, and the clerk verified the notices were posted on the Forestville.com website and the bulletin board at the town hall and announced on the radio station WDR WBDK. April 21st, 2021 annual meeting minutes were read, and the motion was made by Larry Huber, seconded by Jason to accept the minutes as read, and the motion carried. And the clerk presented the annual 2021 financial report. The motion was made by Jason, seconded by Larry to accept the annual report presented, and motion carried. Chairman's comments. Roy had commented on 2 miles of road blacktop in 2021. They were 1/4 mile of Niles Road and 1 3/4 miles of Salona Road. In 2022, West Center Road will be widened and blacktop. Curbside garbage collection with going garbage and recycling is paid ahead of time by the town and added to the property tax bills for collection. A fuel surcharge was charged this year and the cost will be passed on to the taxpayers. And Jessica Hatch is hired as broadband coordinator for the county. And citizens' questions, there were none, and no other business was transacted. And the next annual meeting is scheduled for today, Tuesday, April 18th at 6:30 p.m. Motion to adjourn was made by Dina Schmidt, second by Ruth Kirscher, and meeting adjourned at 6:48.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if we did approve the minutes before, but a motion would be in order to approve the minutes again from last year.
I make a motion to approve minutes for last year.
Second.
Motion made to approve the minutes from last year. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carried.
Well, one note, Ruth, it appears that we have Joyce Engelbert online as well as a guest.
Oh, okay.
Listening.
All right. Okay. I will jot it down.
I believe that everyone had an opportunity to pick up the year-ending report from the town of Forestville.
You need some, that because they have some. They have.
Kevin didn't. Can I get one?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I'm looking over your head. Anybody else need one? Okay. Well, on the annual report, the very top portion, it has to balance out with the accounts that we do have in the bank. We had cash of 160,754, and that included the advanced tax collections. And then also the town revenues, you can see the number there. And then the second next one is the town expenditures. And when you look, the cash also excludes the December advanced taxes on that. So at the very end of the year, we had $29,335 in our account, but we also had the ARPA fund last year, and this year, or I should say 21 and 22, we got $57,515 for the ARPA fund. And that was the balance because we had spent 3,000 some dollars. And the ARPA report has been sent in now, and we took off 70,000 of that. Some was for the roads and other expenditures that we had. Some was for the down payment on the town hall siding. Also, the first column is the town revenues. The first two lines are the town property tax and Southern Door Fire Department levy. That's what's levied on the taxes. And I'm not going to read all the numbers. You can look at it. We've got the dog license collection there. And the second one is intergovernmental revenue. These are the revenues. We got a TRID aid of 18,000, and I believe that was for West Center Road. And shared revenues was 44,000, and that we get about that much every year. And then highway aids this year was 122,000. So that's all our intergovernmental revenues that we receive. Licenses and permits of the tavern licenses and also for the ballpark. Building permits, we got $6,574, but we paid out $5,905 in the second column. So we took in $669 for building permits this year. Garbage collection, we charged on the tax roll 66 or 88,966, and we collected 87,922. So we were short about 1,044, but there are some that did pay their delinquent accounts, and I believe we only had like about 3 or 3.5.
I did receive some more in the mail today.
But and miscellaneous is the interest and the tower rent and the town hall rent and recycle rebates. So down to the next expenditures are the town board, the chairman and the supervisor's salary and expenses, and it includes the Wisconsin Towns Association dues of 1,028. And the next column is the clerk's salary along with the election, poll worker and election expense. And this year we had 4 elections and also the voting machine expense. The financial administrator is the treasurer's salary and along with the tax collection service and the assessor's salary. General building is the expenses for the town hall and the property grounds, and legal expenses under other government general expenses along with the insurance and the curbside pickup. Public safety is our fire department and 2% fire dues along with animal welfare and street lighting. Public works is the total cost of the roads for this year or for this past year of 343,000. And then cultural and recreational education is the cemetery and the website we have, and also library donation. On the next page, the summary of tax collection. These are the amounts that were collected by the county for the county and the schools and the sanitary district. It was collected and we paid them. Under summary of cash, as you can see, that it has to balance out. And I did include the ARPA in that amount. So it all has to balance out. The next one is the Forestville Town Cemetery, and this is just the balance of the receipts and the disbursements, and then the balance of the accounts that are held. Are there any questions?
And when did you have to file this with the state already?
That had to be in by the end of March.
End of March. So you had this, it
Yes.
has been filed with the state.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a much easier one to read.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, with the state.
Any questions on our activity? Okay, well, thank you. We'll move on then. Chairman's comments. Well, as you know, I elected not to continue as chair of the town of Forestville, and after 14 years, I'm very happy that I've been able to serve that time. And so I'm going to be passing it on to Kevin Gillett, is going to be your new chair. How we work it is that I still chair the annual meeting, but after the annual meeting is over with, well, then my term is actually done. My term was actually done at midnight last night. But do the annual meeting. So my comments this year is there are a lot of good things happened in 2022. We were able, like I mentioned, that we were able to do West Center Road, west of Mill Road. That road is 1.1 mile of length. And in the last 40 years, there are now 8 residents on that road. Back 40 years ago or 50 years ago, there was only 1 or 2. But that road, and then so when it was blacktop, it was only 12 feet wide. So it was pretty narrow. So we were able to give it a full 20-foot width, which is our normal width of all our roads, and give it a blacktop surface of 3.5 inches. And then for the first portion of from Mill Road to the highway driveway for their quarry, the highway department put an extra 1/2 inch on top of that at their expense. So that first portion is actually 4 inches thick. So that total cost was $197,000. Now, when we used to do roads here 14 years ago, a mile of road was only about $135,000. So that's how much our miles of road has gone. Now, are we going to get more money from the state for roads? We've been increasing like 2 or 3% a year in our per mile road. And no, I think this year we're going to be getting about 140,000. No, 120 some thousand. And we would have to spend 15% more than that. And of course, we always do that. Also in 2022, we did do some chip sealing. We had, the county did not do chip sealing in 2022. And so we had Scott Construction do a mile of chip sealing, which preserves our roads for a little longer than for that. In 2023, I heard the county is going to go back to chip sealing again.
I hope.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. One of the things I'm really happy that we did in the past few years is put curbside garbage pickup. We're now 2.5 years into this program. It's a 5-year contract that we have, and I believe our townships is a lot cleaner with curbside pickup. We don't seem to have the garbage in the ditches that we used to have. We have a very great rate right now with our company. We were able, when we did this 2.5 years ago, we only got an increase based on the cost of living rather than inflation. And if we would have went inflation, we would have had a tremendous rate increases. This time we only went from 1575 around, right now it's 1623 in the last 2.5 years. Now we do have a charge for fuel surcharge. However, that doesn't kick in until it's $4 a gallon. In the month of March, we did not have a fuel surcharge. So I'm very, very happy with the contract that we were able to achieve back 2.5 years ago. And of course, it'll be up in 2024. Another thing you've heard a lot about is broadband. You've been on the news, and from the county standpoint, as far as how they're compared to the rest of the counties in the state, the rest of the 72 counties, Door County is way ahead of actively pursuing broadband connections. And yes, Forestville was joined with Brussels, Union, and Gardner, our 4 townships together, to do an investigation and to contact internet service providers on whether they would want to be in our township and give us that service. But before we did that, we sent out a survey to all 418 homes. And we got a 36% response. So we got 166 responses back. 83% of the responses said, yes, please investigate broadband. And 65% of the people said, yes, we were willing to pay an extra fee on our taxes. We don't know at this point what we're going here, if it's going to be what the cost would be, but it all depends on what kind of grants we're going to be able to achieve. So the 4 townships got together and we have investigated 6 internet service providers. we entered in, and they made presentations. Bertrand, which used to be Door County Broadband, they came and made a nice presentation. In fact, they gave us, prior to this, they gave us their own personal presentation here in this room, but they gave us another presentation to all of 4 townships. And then Charter, which is Spectrum, they gave a very good presentation on what they can do for our townships. Ensight, which is Cellcom, they did the same thing. Brightspeed, which used to be CenturyLink, CenturyTel, they're here. However, they're just trying to get their arms around the programs, because they just bought CenturyTel last October, and they came in at the low, the projection would be the low cost, but they still don't know what, they got to work some more work out. So, and also we had Buck Puzzle, which is a service that in Kewaunee County, and then we also had LIT, which is a company out of Alabama, and they're more involved in working with big cities. They're not involved in rural, but they showed an interest. So right now, the 4 townships are working on a request for proposal that we'll send out to all of these broadband internet service providers and see if they can meet the specifications that we're going to require. And so that's the next step. After that, the 4 townships will decide which one to pick, and then the committee will come back to the officers here and say, here's what present to you of what it could cost and what they going for after grants. And so we're still a long ways from that yet, but we'll keep in touch with what's going on in broadband. And that's about all I've got to talk about right now. And so that's what my committee, any questions at this point?
Will you be continuing to serve as chair of that committee until we get that information?
I'm chair of just our Forestville group.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and then our chair of that committee, who's really spearheading it,
John
is
Cook.
John Cook, who used to be the chair of Gardner. And it took somebody, he's working almost full time on that project right now.
Yes, he should.
Yeah. So I'll be still chairing that at your request. Yes.
Yes. I know I'm kind of shamed you into that, but I appreciate the work you guys are doing. And you have a committee, and I think you've got an excellent committee working with you.
Yes, they're very good. Yes.
So, I'm looking forward to whatever recommendations y'all can come up with. And
so one of the big things, right, there's been so many grants floating around ever since 3 years ago,
Right.
4 years ago. And now the federal government is stepping in and saying there's a $1.5 billion grant for writing up these proposals in 2023. And then in 2024, there's going to be a $42 billion, but that's for the United States. So
right, that's the entire.
yeah.
Do you guys have an estimated time frame about when you'll have a decision on who you might think would be a good provider?
Well, we would have hoped to do that exactly in 2023, and hopefully in the next 2 months, 3 months, we hope to get them all back where we can sit down and say, okay, here's what they are. See, like, for instance, Bertrand, Door County Broadband, they want to bury everything.
Mhm.
Well, we've got rock, and so the cost to bury is very expensive. All the other providers so far said we will bury the fiber where we can, and we'll go on poles where we can't. And so so everybody's going to come in with different ideas, and all of these ISPs will then also assist you in writing the grants. Is what it is.
Because grant money is where it's going to be the bulk of the cost, but we still have to contribute to that our share.
We expect to.
Yeah, I would say you
Yeah.
almost have to.
We expect it.
So when we're talking about running this stuff, right? Is it just running along the road and then each individual is responsible from the road to their house?
No,
Depends on the.
no, it's the way that will be, and this is a good question.
You know what I mean? Because it's gonna depend upon how they're
Yeah.
gonna bid that.
That's correct, and what we're probably be putting in there to be to the house.
which is what we should be doing.
Yeah,
We're asking the
that's what, but there
taxpayers.
was, in going through these proposals, when we requested for information. And then we sent out a letter for request for information to all these 7 companies. That is right. There was some said, well, there's a cost from our line to the house, and others said, oh, we'll run it to the house. So that's what we're working on right now. The other thing we're working on right now is that we have around 809 E911 addresses. In other words, people have parcel numbers on parcels that have no buildings. And so, you know, if they're going to go hunting on their 40 acres, they'd like to have a number there in case somebody gets lost. And here's the decision that we will have to make, whether we want to have a drop, because the total bid will cost on these drops that you make off of the fiber optics. And do we want to have a drop at all of our E911 addresses? Or do we want to have a drop at just those properties that have an improvement on it? Or do we want to have a drop at just where there's a livable dwelling on it? See, right now we have 466 livable dwellings in the town of Forestville. We have 560. I'm going to get an accurate number here next week, but we have approximately 560 properties that have an improvement on it. And then we have, I think it's 700 some addresses on. So that's a decision we'll have to make prior to the committee coming back to you and say, here's what it's going to cost, because we have to have those figures, we have firm figures on that. And so that's a very interesting project. Well, that's all I have. So for my comments this year, next is the citizens' input. Must have some questions. Oh, Monica. Oh, you got a good, that's the group's over there.
I just want to say to the town board, congratulations to yourself. I am very proud to be a citizen of the town of Forestville. I feel that you have done more than due diligence in most areas as far as serving us, the citizens, in the way that you see best. And I know that some of you put aside your own interests in order to do that, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I wanted to put that on the record, especially as we say goodbye to you, Roy, as our town chairman, and welcome Kevin as a new town chairman. It's important for citizens to show up, to pay attention. Thank you too to Larry for getting us Zoom and an opportunity during times when we couldn't come or it wasn't safe to come. You still held your meeting and you made yourself available to all of us to know what's going on. So in general, thank you, Roy. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Mr. Claude. Jason. My mind, I'm racing because I have a long day. Many of you have, I know. Ruth and Dina, all of you, I'm very proud again to be a citizen of Forestville and say that you have served us so well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
Another item I guess I could mention right now, we're going on, but digressing, what we did with some of the money that we got from the federal government with COVID. First one, we invested in what we're just seeing right here on the screen, where we've got a camera in the middle and you can come back in and see all our meetings, and all our meetings are on YouTube.
Yes.
So you can look at those anytime. They're on YouTube. But big thing we worked on, and Larry worked on it this year, was Hey Gov. Now, what is it? All our permits that you can get, if you want a dog license, a permit, if you want a building permit, not a building permit, driveway permit, what do you got, 5 permits?
Race, yes, you can get kennel permits, you can get underground manure line permits, or, and also you can rent town hall.
Yeah.
And there's still more changes coming in that world.
Yeah. So we're way ahead of that, so you can get your information right there and pay. Well, even
Pay online.
pay online. So that was a big project.
It was a big project, and the other thing is that we didn't feel that we wanted to incur the costs of running credit cards. So what happens is, if someone wants to get a dog license, as an example, they would make that application online, pay with a credit or debit card. And the cost of that processing fee is charged to their credit card, and we just get the net fee. So if it's $15 to register a dog, what is it?
1551, I think.
51 cents or whatever gets charged then against the credit card. So anybody who uses a credit or debit card to get one of the permits, they are picking up the fee for processing it. So the town itself does not incur that service charge. So I thought that was important going forward.
Yeah, we're not with PayPal or Venmo, are we?
No, we
Okay.
are not with PayPal, nor are we with Venmo, but we'll take anybody's card.
Okay.
You name it, we'll take it.
Very good.
And Ruth can actually handle the cards right there at the office, at your home.
Haven't had to yet.
Have not had to,
It's
just folks
there.
are using it online.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask when I'm PCI compliant.
Yes. Was a part of this thing. Payment card industry has some pretty stringent rules. And so, yes, that is why our provider, why we selected this provider, and it's an add-on to what we've done with our website. So this is actually, there's many facets to it that are not yet fully finished and functional.
Oh,
Well, if you want to send us some money, we've also got the pay capability. You just go in and send us some money.
yeah, I was gonna say, can you download the thing and send a check?
You can do that as well. You can do either one.
Okay, well, thank you. Any other questions? Any other business that we need to conduct at this time?
Where's your gavel?
I took it home.
Okay.
It's on my
I
desk.
thought you were gonna have it here tonight for your last.
I took it home, it's on my desk. Yeah, I turned my keys in. Kevin's got the keys, so, and. Okay, hearing no other business to be transacted, the next annual meeting will be on April 16th of 2024 at 6:30. A motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
One second.
Motion with Jason, second, and Monica. All those in favor to adjourn, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Now we can pause the recording.
All right, we'll get the Forestville Town Board monthly meeting ready to go for April 18th, 2023. Roll call.
Oh. Larry Engelbert,
I'm here.
Larry Huber,
Here,
Jason Klahach,
Here.
and Ruth Kirscher, Monica Nelson,
Here.
Dina Schmidt, Kevin Gillett,
Here.
Bill and Joanne Bungle,
Here.
Lauren Eker, Gary Vandertyne,
Here.
Joe Kirscher, Randy Schmidt,
Here.
and Jan Gillett. Is there anybody I missed? Pardon? Oh, okay. And Joyce is still online, I believe?
Yes.
Okay,
as is Steve.
okay. Oh, Steve, what was his last name?
Oh, you have it written down.
Oh, Steve, I didn't write it down, his name.
Oh, Steve, is it possible you could give us your last name as we begin the town board meeting? Steve, can you hear us?
Yes, Perath.
Oh, P-O-R-A-T-H, okay. Have
Okay,
it,
thank you very much.
What is that?
Thank you.
Mhm.
Verification of public notice.
Yes, it has been posted.
All right,
1
agenda presentation. We approve the agenda as written.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as posted, the revised version.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Huh?
All right.
All opposed? It'll carry. Town officers oath of office.
Okay, I can talk about that. We had, is this the right one? Let me get the right page. All officers that are present were notified that they did win the election. And their oath of office has been signed. There's Kevin Gillett, Jason Klahach, Larry Huber, Ruth Kirscher, and Dina Schmidt. And I will read what was signed. It was that person having been elected or appointed to their office, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, swear that they will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of their office to the best of their ability. And they all swore to do it.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Approval of minutes from the March 20th, 2023 meeting.
Yes, they were distributed. I read through them. I saw no errors, omissions, or errors, so. Given that, I would make a motion that we accept the minutes from the March 20th town board meeting.
I second that motion.
All right, all in approval, say aye.
Aye.
Just a question, would we also want to approve the special town board meeting minutes from April 13th?
I suppose we could, yeah.
Because we did have a special meeting.
Yes.
That had been
We should,
called to
yeah.
order for purposes of approving the increased cost of
Right.
plywood.
Yes, we probably should do that.
Yes.
So, what, I don't have that date, do you have that date?
It was April 13th.
Yes, thank you. April 13th at 6:30 PM, we held a special town board meeting to discuss the siding bid where we had an increase in plywood costs due to Buffalo board being applied on the majority of the walls, but the corners all had plywood, so it was unknown at that point in time. Therefore, in order to place this siding, we had to take this off, put the proper product on, so that you have the support for the new siding, which will last for an incredible amount of time. So we held a special meeting, and the cost was the increased cost for that and the wrap to go around the windows was $4,470. And I do believe that came out of the ARPA funds as well, correct?
Yes.
So that's what this is about.
We should have a motion then to approve.
I make a motion for those meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All right, all in favor? I don't even know that because we were kind of tying it in with both, so do we finish the first one first? Do we really?
Oh,
actually
that one
finish
was
it?
carried. Yeah, that one was carried.
Okay.
Yeah, but the second one, yeah.
All right. I have a motion to approve the meetings from the special meeting and a seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it will carry. The treasurer's report.
In our cemetery checking, we have $88.03. In our cemetery perpetual care, we have $11,489.97. In our cemetery savings, we have $3,748.54. Town checking, we have $1,299.83. In our money market, we have $158,410.26. In our LGIP general, we have $43,763.12. In our ARPA, ARPA fund is $111,823.14. And we have no
Receivable.
Yeah, we have no receivables.
Okay, so everything came in then.
Yes,
Okay.
well, I should say that we do have receivables of garbage collection, but I don't know who that is.
Well, okay, well, that's,
Yeah, it's not something that we worry about. It's the
no,
county.
that's something.
Yeah. But we have no personal property or anything.
Nothing. Okay, good. And we'll let those incoming. You know, so we have a total of current assets of $330,622. I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I second that motion.
All right, I have a motion to accept in a second. All in favor, please say aye.
All right.
All opposed? Okay. Public comment and correspondence. Do you have anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We got a notice that Door County broadband tower rent is changed over to Bertrand. That's the tower by the old dump.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I was gonna ask Jason if you had anything on invasive species. I did get a little, I did get a notice or a letter or something. I think I emailed that out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And today I got a phone call. The town hall is insured for $253,239. And with the 9% inflation charge, it will be up to $276,000 value. They added $22,792. And they wanted to know if we had any other changes on insurance for the whole town, for the properties. And Roy and I met with Jason last year with Rural Mutual, went every detail, and it was all, it was raised, and we were satisfied with that amount. And Jason thought that even with the new siding, by going up to 22,000, that it would be okay, but it's up to the board.
Well, now that you're talking about the raised value, the raised insurance to cover the value.
Yes, see, I mentioned to him that the siding was being removed and replaced.
Mhm.
And I said that cost was about what, 27,000, I believe.
Okay.
And he says, oh, but you know, you already had siding on, you're just replacing it. And he said, even if you replace a light fixture or whatever, it's not gonna, you know,
Change the
increase,
value.
right?
Yeah.
And the 9% inflation did increase it by $22,792. So they want to know if that was enough.
I think it would be.
So when they're saying that, is it just for this building here?
Yes, just the town hall.
No,
And
And
the pavilion thing too is.
Oh, he just said the town hall. Oh, it could be.
pavilion and the small deck.
Okay.
You got,
And the concession stand.
yes. But
Are
And
we,
then-
do we have to worry about the tower building? Because we have the tower in that little building there. Is that
No.
not our cost?
No. That's a block building.
We still have a roof on
So how much is it, Ruth? 201?
$276,031.
But that would have been covered on the escalation you built into the
Yes.
insurance policy.
The 9%.
Yeah, 9% increase, so.
He felt that it was enough, but he said it's up to the board.
you just talk about this building though.
Yes.
You're not talking about the other two buildings. on it.
Oh, that's what he said. Yeah, just this building.
Just this building.
There's
okay.
this building for the value in this building.
Mhm.
Is 276, that's really what I'm asking,
Mhm.
right? Or is the 276 supposed to include everything?
No,
No, he said this one.
we got three properties.
My answer would be yes, 276,000 to replace this building would be
Yep.
adequate.
Okay,
dollars to
okay.
replace it.
I will call him tomorrow. Tell him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay,
Do you need a motion? I don't think
it. I don't
so,
think so.
unless we're getting a major change in our policy, what we're not.
right.
You're just renewing it.
Yeah.
Right.
renewing
Just
it.
renewing
Okay,
it.
I'll just mention to him it's okay to renew them. Okay.
No, no problem with that.
That's all comments I have.
Okay. The Southern Door Fire Department report.
No, wait, maybe there's somebody else for that. No, that's not a public.
All right. Our last meeting was held April 12th, which was last week, Wednesday, up at the North Station. In attendance was Jason Clawhawk and newly elected Forestville Town Chair Kevin Gillett. The treasurer reported in our Nicolay checking account, $96,339.08. In the Nicolay money market account, $312,254.34. In the Capital Credit Union money market /CD, $50,395.14. And the ISDA financial annuity, $101,900. $926.39. For a grand total of $560,914.95. And just an update on that, the ISBA annuity. Even though it only print on a semi-annual, update on the current rate, the current amount. It is at $104,493.23.
Okay,
The chief reported to us in his report that there have been 7 fire calls since March 8th, which March 13th at State Highway 4257, 7502, State Highway 4257, building damage from vehicle hit, inspected for structural damage and documentation of collision. This is at the Morning Glory Restaurant located up on the double highway. March 17th, State Highway 57 and Clover Beach Road, a single vehicle rollover. We assisted with traffic control and assisted the wrecker and cleanup. March 21st, 4569 Hillside Road, Mavis called the Jacksonport for a chimney fire. They were canceled en route. March 30th, 7513 State Highway 4257 page for a vehicle smoking heavily, determined to be antifreeze, canceled prior to leaving the station. This is at the PJ gas station, also Morning Glory. April 2nd, 8814 Claflin Park Road, a Mavis call to Bug Fire Department for an ice rescue. 6 persons were on ice breakaway. We provided backup to the scene. April 4th, 3202 Main Road, a vehicle on fire, extinguished by personal fire extinguisher from a department member. And we also did one engine did respond to the call. The rest of them were canceled. April 7th, 2569 County Road S, which is Saz Auto, a 2-vehicle accident. A car hit a parked car. We assisted with debris cleanup and documentation. And 21 EMR calls since March 8th. In the chief's notes, training in April was at the Door County Airport on Monday, April 10th. And I reported, I believe last month, the month before, that we were doing a foam PFAS. Recall. Disposal. That's still in progress, but I did ask Chief, do we have any of that ourselves as a department? And we do, and he's estimating it could be, some of that foam could be pushing 20 years old, so that will also be disposed of properly. We're looking to switch internet providers at the substation. Current service with, what is it?
Cell tower. You're gonna go to T-Mobile.
Brightspeed is sporadic. T-Mobile has been recommended by station members in the village. The guidelines committee has finalized the high school member guideline. It is posted for 30 days and will be in effect until obligations are raised. The high school member is a program to try to recruit high school age men and women, boys and girls, to become fire department personnel. The picnic committee met April 13th. Already heavy planning going on for the July 29th picnic. A request was made by a department member to use a North Station meeting room for a birthday party on May 6th. We also checked with Jason Chepler, who also our road insurance agent. He said he has no problems with it, as long as there's supervision, so that there's nothing going on in the fire truck part. Grain rescue training will be held Saturday, May 13th at SNSA Enterprises. And Ron Eisman, who is a following member of the fire department, his celebration of life will be May 20th at residence on Hammerson Road. And the picnic is July 29th, like I mentioned. There was no real firefighter input, but truck 922 needed a turbo. To a tune of $4,300 to $4,400. It's been fixed and has been returned. All of the matters authorized by law, nothing really new from the towns, but we did talk about the election results. We're not sure how the new Nassau town board members feel about the impending split. The North Station inventory, which you guys handed back to me, was Chief Olson and 8 or 9 guys went through the list and put value on like 99% of the items. Everything from brooms to extension cords to you name it. Their total $68,333, which I thought was a pretty decent number for everything in the station. We turned over to the board members of Nassau the appraisals of truck 914 and 915. Our appraisal for truck 914 came back in the mid 100,000 range. The appraisal that Nassau did, which basically they use a depreciation schedule, theirs was 87 to 107. For truck 915, our appraisal came back low to mid 200,000s, and the second appraisal came back at up to 325,000. Their appraisal came in at 210 to 255,000. So there's some wiggle room there to negotiate. Correct. Any questions?
All right, well, tomorrow I have a board meeting with some of the town members on the fire department. And Nassau is requesting the sale of the one truck first, that they gotta get their permits. And I don't know a lot of it at this point in time, because we didn't have the meeting yet. But obviously I'll have much more to report at the next meeting we have.
We're gonna be meeting with.
I do believe Terry McNulty, and I believe White Banks, Myron, I think it is, right? Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be at Cherry Delight.
Okay, that'd be the 3 municipalities.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
What's the chair?
Pardon?
What's
They said
the chair?
Nassau sent an offer to purchase for engine 907 at 22,000.
22,000, correct.
In which they would pay if the towns agreed 32%. So our appraisal came back to 25 to 35,000 on that. So there's some wiggle room there too.
So a counter was sent from Terry, basically of $30,000. Where that stands in their world, I don't know, but you're talking a different of the percentages that would come back here. Would be
Right, it would come, the monies for the quote sale, if you will, of a truck. Those monies then come back to municipalities based on the participation rate. Am I correct? Yes.
According to the operating agreement.
Right,
yes.
according to you,
Everything is done.
1980 operating agreement as amended. So that we would get a portion equivalent to what we put in to support the fire department.
Over the last 40
And they
years.
would withhold the portion Nassau would have gotten.
Right.
From
They
the
hold
sale
our,
price, whatever we agreed to. Right.
correct.
That's
Yes.
the only clarification. Want to make sure. I
So the whole
understand.
difference in that number, because of the fire department, obviously the other towns aren't going to be leading that.
Right,
You know, you
right,
go at their number, you're talking, the check would be like 6,600.
right.
If we went at our number, that check would be like 9,000.
9,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is all based off the numbers that you had,
Yeah.
Roy had worked out.
Right.
Which I relooked at, all of that stuff, and you're
Right
pretty
on.
much right on the button there of percent. So that's still some of the stuff that'll all be talked about in that meeting of, you know, do we accept that number? Well, there's really not an option of accepting that number. Because that's what the agreement is. I mean, you can look at the math all you want, but the math is gonna be the math. And I'm pretty sure it's right on the button from what we were looking at.
Can I inject here a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
Kevin, to answer your questions, the townships have never had a formal meeting to say, yes, this is correct,
Exactly.
and yes, this is what we're going to offer the Nassau prices. So that's going to be talked about tomorrow, and where this precipitated from is that Nassau sent a
Offer to purchase.
big, very firm offer to purchase that we immediately act right now. And of course, that's not correct. You have to wait until after the election. And so that's why it's meeting as quickly as we can after the election.
Mhm.
But nothing has been decided. Why Terry sent, Terry's email was just saying, hey, we think this is not quite right because the clerk sent this to us.
Right.
And we don't agree with you right now. So it was really a soft offer that it was just saying where we are, but nothing's been decided. We will be meeting with an attorney. And hopefully that we can come up with a counter offer to Nassau. Now, that's if that happens tomorrow, I don't know. Well, but it won't happen exactly tomorrow because a lot of things have to get put in after that meeting.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
nothing's been decided. Don't.
Yeah, and Ruth, you forwarded this to us.
Yes.
So, yeah, Steve is initial offer purchase, yeah.
Yeah, so more to come.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So any other comments as far as the Southern Door Fire Department at this point in time?
If I may, Kevin,
Yes,
the offer to purchase 907 is so that they can get their paperwork going, right? I mean, they
Yes.
cannot do anything until they have an engine in their town name. They would lease it back to us, as I understand it, for the remainder of our contract with them. So that unit would not leave. So the fire would just be titled under them.
correct.
Remember that, you know, insurance and repairs might be something that you have to,
Well, that would all be done within that lease.
right, and I'm just saying, you know, you need to be aware of that, you know, municipalities aren't.
And we do not want to hold them up on getting their permit, and they are running out of time, because when you read that agreement, it's basically point blank says, from the second they had their annual meeting, they have 1 year, and they gave you the notice at that meeting, and they gave you the intent of what they're gonna buy, 100% to that agreement. They've done all of that part. So we don't wanna hold up their end, so if they can't get their permit, they're gonna either buy a new truck or gonna be we're forcing them. So
Right, but
we at least have to make a decision, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. You know, if they're gonna be set back, there's gotta be the lease agreement, and right, the insurance and the maintenance and whatever else, however, that part goes, but I think number one is, can we come to an agreement on that truck so they can continue to move forward with what they're gonna do?
yeah, no, and we fully understand that, it's just, you know, those little nuances that need to be handled, as far as that. Covering our backside, if you will.
Yeah, yeah,
So
agreed,
that's all I'm bringing it up for.
thank you. Anything else?
I guess there's certain things that needs to be considered. Is the truck? You're leasing it. We're using it at Southern Door, where am I going with this? Who's responsible if something happens, if it goes to their district, to their township or the other townships? You get, you're going, I'm getting at there?
Well, that's where you have legal counsel.
Right. So,
And legal counsel will help you iron out those details.
you know, what if something happens if it's responding to a fire in Forestville?
Right.
To that truck, what happens is, you know,
Right.
something happens to that truck that have, you know, respond to a fire in Nassau, or call Nassau.
So legal counsel is why you have it. To resolve those issues.
Okay. There's no more comment on that. We'll move on to the next thing. Maplewood Sanitary District. Anything from anybody?
No.
The only question I have, the only comment I have is I was reading their minutes and it says in here that they called S&S Farms about a tree destruction on, at well number 1. We did not receive any calls from them. Randy went and talked to somebody that was slatching the lawn.
We brushed the fence line, but when I asked him, he said, was there brush or something in the yard here or whatever? And he said, well, what happened was when it rained or when the snow melted, some floated, some of the chips floated into the yard. They said it wasn't a problem because it's all cleaned up. There wasn't any issues.
So, because if there's no response, we never, no one ever got a phone call, so. I don't know.
And an update on the notice of violation? What
No,
was that?
nothing. It was given to their attorneys or whoever takes care of it. I don't know if you know more about that.
Oh, yes, that's,
was-
it was just information. It's nothing to do with the drinking water. The drinking water is very safe. It's the nitrates that coming out of the leach field and the DNA, and it's because their sample was right close to the leach field. And the DNR said, yes, that's okay. That reading was all right. So that's the point is
Oh,
moved now.
okay.
Okay.
Oh,
But it's just a notice of violation.
Yeah,
to
no,
that.
to them, and but it's the DNR was fine with.
Right.
oh, okay.
So for the next agenda, we could probably take that line item off.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's don't have to.
Okay, cemetery report.
You know, we had a burial, Ed Krieger, and we have another committal going on Saturday for Forestville. And we're already scheduled to clean up for the 17th of May, which is a Wednesday. We're gonna get that ready in advance of the, the Decoration Day, Memorial Day holiday. And our committee just does that cleanup spring and fall. So there's stuff that has to be cleaned up. I am going to also contact Weiss Memorial, who does our grave openings, with regard to Ed Krieger's opening. It was done when we had a lot of snow on the ground, so we don't have the sod wasn't preserved, so it's an open, it's just dirt. And he always comes by in the spring usually and seeds it or whatever. But other than that, it's pretty quiet up there. I don't get any complaints up there.
Good place to rest.
That's it. That's all I got.
Not from the people that
No, but, well, I also had some other inquiries for possible additional sales and services, but we'll see where that all goes. As they come in, I'll let you know.
All right, thank you. Broadband,
Yeah, I gave you the update.
Right.
Nothing to you, nothing more to add.
okay. American Rescue Plan update.
Okay, that one, Larry and I worked on that. We have submitted the ARPA plan for $70,862.67. Leaving a balance of $40,960.47. And that's what we would have for the next report for the next year. And of that 40,000, 17,790 will go for the townhouse siding and repair.
So do I need,
So we'll have a balance of, I don't
so
know,
do I need to change?
you could, I suppose, for the balance. I can get back to you.
Okay.
And that's through the end of March.
Yes. Is it not? Yeah.
Okay. HAGOV and website update.
Interesting to say the least. We were getting a lot of phishing attacks from in our town email. And what we've done, I've been working with our provider for the email, which is Rackspace is the name of the organization. And we've brought I'm reporting a lot of those attacks that have been coming in And we reduced that. I think, Roy, you noticed that last month.
Last one, we dropped off.
It dropped way down, but I think one caught Ruth by somehow or another. This is the second one we've had with Ruth's email address, and today we went through the process of removing it. They basically came in somehow or another. I found
Last name.
some malware on her machine, took it off. Then our provider terminated the access to that account, so she couldn't use it. And it generated over 200
63 or something.
263 emails out. And they had changed her name to M&T Bank or something like that. So they were sending things out to M&T Bank. The other one was Century Bank or something like that. The other one we had a couple of weeks ago. And so what happens is I don't know how it appeared on that town machine, but it did. And somebody got it. And they just took her name, changed it, used her email address, and started sending out spam. And the service provider shut her down, so she couldn't handle any email. Now, that's the second time that's happened. I think we've got that one nipped in the bud and closed down. So she's back in business. That's working fine. It happened last night. I check this stuff on a daily basis. I find, whoa, what's happened here? Saw the thing was down today. We fixed that. Spent some time as well, getting Randy, at least Kevin, up to speed on, he's got access to the cloud drive. He's got the chair's email and all of your email. You never deleted anything?
Oh, no, I think the ones I want to keep. You should have a lot of, if he goes through all the emails, he's got a nice little history of what's.
That's good.
So we just got that done a couple hours ago. So now Kevin's got access to that. I'm also still working with the HeyGov element. We're looking at several potential changes to our digital services that we'll be going with. And we're pretty well resolved based on last month's report where we're at with that. Unfortunately, we have two different entities that are all under the same ownership umbrella. And so we have our regular website, and then we also have our digital services. And we're bringing them in line as of the end of this year, so that we'll have one point of contact for all of that. And we can then decide, do we want to continue with the pieces that we have? How does it go forward? So that's all I have, and we have an update.
Well, first, thank you for setting my computer up. That was appreciated.
It's working, isn't it? I hope.
Yeah, I think we got it. All right, item number 14, approval of Maplewood Mets Class B retailer's license for 6 months.
Our next meeting would be May 16th, I believe, and they're having a game May 14th, so they asked for the approval. And it's for a 6-month term. So I do it from May through, what is it, November or the end of October. They usually have their last game in September, I think it is, August, September.
And that's what caused the revision to the.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a 6-month
Yeah.
term. Mhm. So we just need a motion to approve it. And then next month, they will be, or the month after, we'll be renewing their bartender licenses. So, but just for today, we just need this one renewed.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, with you guys.
We just, yeah. No, they usually just make a motion and approve it.
Wake up, kids.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the bartender's license.
Oh.
I thought we missed something on our.
Retailers, Class B.
Yeah, Class B retailers, I'm sorry.
That's it.
I thought I missed something on the agenda here.
No, it's number 14. It's on the revised agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you made a motion?
Yes, I made a motion to accept the bartender or Class B
Retailers,
retailer's license.
football games
I'll second that.
for 6 months.
for
All
6
right.
months.
All in favor of approving it, please say aye.
All right.
All opposed, Hearing none, will carry. Item 15, zoning for Kevin Gillett, conditional use permit request. So here I'm gonna recuse myself, obviously. So I don't know, if Larry or one of you guys can
So
take that.
Monica, you and Joanne are on our zoning committee. So planning committee, you want to give us your insight? There's a lot of information and material there. So,
I did read that, and I think Joanne just got it.
yeah, she saw this before the meeting.
Yeah, yeah, and this is a conditional use permit, which is a little bit different than our variance, unusual variance. So the board does approve it. The comments I would make is that I saw no problem with the request. It did look. And notice that there is a little bit addition of impervious surface there because they made driveway gravel, so that's of course safer and all the rest, so that's a plus. But it's an addition to what they had before, and I wasn't sure where the little sales shop that you talked about.
It's just on the other side of the parking.
Yeah, it's in the existing building that was there, so that little dinky building sitting in the back.
That's a what? Okay.
That's
Yeah, so you don't have any signs or anything, because I think you said in your request that it was just, excuse me, open when the maze is open.
Correct.
It was kind of in specific hours, all really good stuff, and that conditional use, or the majority of people with conditional use permits do, you have to assure that open hours, all those kinds of things, so that the neighbors know what's going on and everything else. So, in summary, I didn't see any reason not to grant the request.
Okay. Are you?
Well written by the.
And I have the same feeling. The only comment I have to make about, Kevin, you're in the business of construction. You should have known something about the zoning business, but otherwise, and another comment I had to make about it is I had some complaints from some people that were driving through on J with the parking, because there isn't, you don't have much parking in.
There's plenty of parking there.
Well, there were people, apparently there were people parked on both sides of the road there when you were really busy, and that's.
Not true, because I'm a neighbor and living right across the street, and there's never a car on the road ever.
I've never seen, the whole purpose of the parking area.
There's plenty of.
Okay, but I've been to a facility similar to this, and they have a whole lot more parking area off road than what, but otherwise, that's my.
Well, we didn't have any.
I don't have any problem with it, and that was my only comment.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with it.
Okay, that's all I wanted to do, was get
Yes.
your opinion from Eric. from the
Yes,
planning
that's it. I don't have any problem with it.
So, given that input, then I think I'd make a motion, we file a paper with the Land Use Services Department, that we have no reason to not go along with what the Resource Planning Commission does with regard to granting that conditional use permit.
A second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it'll pass. Roads and road work. At this point in time, as I just got the information, I don't really have anything to say. Thad Ash had sent out an email. And,
That's a sealed bid, so.
okay. So what we'll do is I'll have more to report on that, but at this point in time, there was no information to come in unless Roy, you would have anything that you want to bring up?
Yeah, the thing to work about, what you're gonna be making a strong note on, is that this is the year that you will be applying for local road improvement grants. And there's 3 of them that you're gonna apply for, so you should be thinking about that. Tad Ash sent a letter out, and you should be thinking about what roads you're gonna apply for, and get ready to make your applications in August of this year. You'll be applying for at least three applying for through the applications. Now, in your folder, there's one that I would strongly suggest that you apply for, yes, but that's something you're gonna need to think about for roads. And also what you have to do in the next, probably next 2 or 3 weeks is decide what roads you're gonna fix in 2023. If you're gonna resurface some, because you need to get that information to the highway department, because they fix your roads or resurface your roads on first come, first served basis. That's what they've done for us the last few years. So if
Are you still on the highway committee?
yes, sure,
Still gonna be coming to our meeting?
I can do that if you ask me to, yeah.
I would like you to.
Okay, but yes, those are things that you want to do, but at future meetings, I'll probably cover this at our 25th May meeting at Playbanks about the local road improvement program, because the state has started tweaking that and changing that a little bit.
That's at the Towns Association meeting.
At Playbanks, yes,
Yeah.
on 25th, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of those are things you need to work on your this next coming month. What roads are you going to fix before the end of May?
I know we had talked about Old Creek Road and County Line Road.
That would be your making a request for
For-
TRIS
Yeah.
supplemental program.
Yeah, supplemental.
You could,
We try to, we have to consider that.
yeah.
Okay,
We have a couple small potholes coming up on the end of Maplewood Road, just before County H.
Tony,
Sorry, County O, and I was just gonna do the standard mix that we was at a coal patch or whatever it is. we were
Yeah.
doing.
those kind of holes, you better get the county.
You think so?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
big enough?
Yeah, that was just experimental.
Oh.
That was experimental, that,
Cause I like it, it seems to we're pretty good, so, I mean,
yeah.
okay.
I don't think you want to go around with your camper and your bag of blacktop.
I enjoyed that.
We just did that experiment one day.
Yeah. It was working good though, I mean, that's why I was wondering if we want to continue. to-
But Kevin, that's one thing, potholes is a big thing, and the minute you see potholes,
they grow.
email over to Kevin, Randy DeVore.
Okay.
And that's,
Yeah, they grow real fast.
Yeah,
yeah,
So, since we've got to talk and do business here while we're on, do we want to drive around, pick a day at some point in time? And
Well, we
do
should.
A road
Yeah,
evaluation
we
amongst
do.
us? Do you guys want to come with, or is that just a me thing, or what do you? guys
No,
wanna do?
typically what we've done, and I'm just gonna speak from my own
Yeah.
reference, is we would typically meet here. 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we would drive all the town roads.
Yep.
And evaluate them based on the state's guidance with the pacer rating. And determine which roads are, deteriorating, which ones may be candidates for crack fill, chip sealing, or were getting so bad, we may want to replace them, as we did on West Center Road. So, and that generally takes us a day. It's an entire day of driving around, making notes. Now, Roy, you had given us a map, and we had those forms. I have the forms.
and Kevin has them also.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
that's fine.
and typically, we just all, get in the truck with Jason, he pilots us, and
usually,
yeah, and away we go. So what day works is really the question, and we want to evaluate in some places what we saw last fall after the weather, after the winter operations, then we gotta really determine, okay, now what happened to this road or that road? Then what do we do? What do we plan for the monies that we know we're gonna be getting in road aids or whatever? So, I don't know when we would want to do that. But before it gets too much further along,
I mean, yeah, if we gotta go 2-3 weeks down the road to report it into the county and see what we're gonna be doing,
yeah,
I mean,
what days work?
well, I'll tell you right now, from May 11th through the 21st, I'll be in New York.
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
Glad to hear that.
But you could
May
do it
11th
without
to the
me. You
28th.
could do it without me if you had to, though.
Well, that's okay, because I won't be around most of May either. We could do it, and I've got a cemetery cleanup on the 17th of May.
Don't you usually do it the end of April?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the end of April when we normally do it, and, we could do it, I don't know. 25th, 26th, I don't know what would work next week.
My whole week is open.
The 27th, I could do it.
The 27th,
I'm open.
I'm open.
Okay, I'll put the notice 8 AM or 8:30.
8:30, I think that's when we normally look at 8:30.
For your information, the county highway department is doing their road review on the same day. And they do the same thing, the county puts in a CIP, what roads are going to be fixed. But over the winter, something's changed, and so there'll have to be some decisions on a county level to, no, we're not gonna fix this road this year, we're gonna have to fix that road, we only have so much money to spend, so. County does the same level what you guys are doing there.
Yeah, so we'll do that on 27th. You want to get us a notice I can get up on the website.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We missed B, I go back to B.
I'm sure I put it on my calendar, so.
That's what I'm doing right now. And we're gonna have a problem.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, any other comments as far as roads? We're good on that date?
On that date for road inspection,
Yeah.
we didn't talk about brush cutting right away. Which we did have some done
Yeah,
on
then,
Mill Road.
oh, brush cutting.
The brush cutting on Mill Road, and they left behind quite a bit of stuff back along
Yeah.
from the highway or from H. Heading south,
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
heading that way.
It's Forestville.
So,
Yes. Anyway, yeah, heading south. There's a bunch of, there's chunks of wood that they left in
branches
there,
and stuff.
and there's stumps in there, lots of them. I don't know if that's gonna come back up, or what the deal is, or were they done cleaning that up? Was a highway finished with that?
I was finished with that, there was one area that the landowner did not want them to touch.
Oh,
So if you're seeing one area that's brushy, that's because he did not want that cut.
so not ready.
Yes, and I said bypass it. If you want those stumps cut down, they will come back and cut those down. I said that was not necessary. That was my call. But if you want to cut those,
It's not necessary, but what I'm thinking about is what we had down by Nazi Road when all that came back. If you remember, south of there, where we had all of that, stuff to
oh, that was on Mill Road.
Mill
Yeah,
Road.
Mill Road,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
on Mill Road. This is on Mill Road.
And we sprayed that one time for brush, but it will come back.
It'll come back. I'm just wondering, is this cleaned up enough? Or are we gonna come back and address that later when it's all overgrown?
It will come back.
I know it's
Yeah.
come back. So,
You don't have to worry about the grass cutting though, with the stumps there. They don't go in that far.
no, I don't think so. They
Didn't
can't.
go before.
They can't. Never.
So
been-
Roy, are you saying that though, that he just didn't want you cutting on his section of land? Does he actually even have that right if it's an hour right away?
Bill, and yes, he had it for, he did not want the highway workers to cut that. Yes, the town has the right to insist that it be cut. It's the
That
town's
creates a
chair
problem.
says you want to have a confrontation over that, and to me, it wasn't worth it. But yes, we have that right to,
Right,
Because it's in the right.
yes, yeah,
That's the whole point.
yeah.
but it's not blocking view.
It wasn't.
It's not an intersection.
No,
And so it doesn't create a hazard.
That's correct, yeah,
And so, given that, I guess, I don't have a problem with that.
yeah, that was.
If it were overhanging the road like we have in some areas,
Yeah,
if it was by an intersection and blocking the ability to see oncoming traffic, then I would insist it be removed.
yeah,
But I don't see that.
yeah, that's why there's a little stretch there right there.
Okay.
They like that, they passed.
I just was curious.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem
Open
with
that
that.
one too.
Ditch grass cutting bids, is that what one of these
That's,
is?
yeah, that's the one bid.
So we have to open that, don't we?
Yes.
Well, you should make a decision before you open that. Do you want to go out for more bids?
That's true.
Last year, we only got 2 bids. And this is from Joe Bader, who did the grass cutting last year. If you open, there was no request for bids. We didn't.
No, we did not make a request for bids.
It's just his quote. So, I guess I guess I'm mistaken. Yes, since we didn't make a request for bid, you could open that bid and,
All right.
yeah.
Let's,
But then can we still use this bid?
for
But
sure.
once we open it and now it's all public, then anybody else
Well-
bidding on it already will know what they. The first
You
number
roll
is.
some more bids? I mean, is that what you're planning?
I think, and what we have here basically is someone who has done the work. We compared that, was it last year for the county? We were not satisfied with the cutting we had. We went out for bids. He came in, he did the work. He'd like to continue to do the work, so he gives us an offer and tells us what he did. There, we can choose to continue with him. I think the work was certainly
He did a
better.
fine job.
Yeah, compared to what we had had the year prior. So, we can
This,
open it.
yeah, this is a service. You don't have to go out for bids for this. It's an option you
No.
have.
It's an option.
Yeah.
So we can open that and we can look at that and decide, do we want to go to, ask for more bids or not? So, open
Only one cutting in July.
We'll
open it and see.
it. Yeah, single cut in July?
No, his bid is the same as last year.
Oh,
But what he said is that if you elect to only go with one cutting in July, fence line to fence line, it would be the same, it'd be just that one cutting there, fence line to fence line, but it would not be a surcharge for that. So,
One cutting is not enough.
If we're gonna go for more bids, you want to install what this bid is, yeah?
That's why I was asking that question, you know what I'm saying, but
I tell you the truth, after what we encountered the prior couple of years, I was very pleased with the work we had done.
Yeah, I just assumed.
I mean, I had no real complaints in the work that we had done this past year, and he did a good job.
and the price should be the same as last year.
I don't,
so before we went out for bids is what you basically are saying, right? Just that I want to clarify.
we went out.
In
to
the
bid.
past, we went out for bids, we found this guy to be the best price. Now he's done the work for this one last year.
Yep,
And he did a good job, everybody's happy with it, no
Yep.
complaints.
right. Well, what is he,
Well, his bid is 16,875.
that's virtually the same as last year.
So you're gonna have 2 cuttings,
Right,
so.
right, that's what we
That's the
did.
2 cuttings. He's got a rate of 125 per hour for his tractor and his mowers.
So with 2 cuttings, is it like whole cutting or is it just a short cutting? and then-
From ditch to ditch.
First time,
One pass to the center of the ditch for 10 feet in June or July, depending on weather. And the second cutting is 2 passes fence line to fence line in August or September. That's what we had done last year. And they did a good job. And so in virtually at the same rate. 16,875.
Yes.
I'd say we'll go with that and do it again. You can do it once, you can do it twice, and then,
Yeah, he didn't increase his price at all.
no.
And
We also, we're talking about, that's the ditches, that's the road, that's 45 miles of road.
45
Yes.
by now.
Yeah.
Did you budget it for it? It's in the budget, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Peter, I thought he did, at least by me, he did anyway.
It's everywhere.
That's a bunch of more than basically.
He's got more than that.
Okay,
So I'm okay with this. I don't have an issue with this. If you continue to do a good job and. we
You want a
didn't get
motion?
increase,
so you
So
think we should have a motion to continue on?
I would think we would have to because this is
Right.
money, so. Can I get a motion or what do you guys want to do?
I make a motion, we accept Bader's bid for $16,875 for the 2 cuttings.
Yeah, I'll second.
All right, all in favor of accepting this bid?
Aye.
All opposed? Will pass.
Also, talking about cutting, Dan Dobner did our cemetery and town hall property. How many years has he been doing that? Umpteen. He would like to continue to do it this year for the same price that he's been doing it for umpteen. And so to that end, I would say we have Dan Dobner continue cutting cemeteries. He's also very good at letting me know when woodchucks are mining away at Rock House. So
Can I get a motion for that?
I make a motion to that effect, that we extend the cemetery and the ballpark cutting with Dan Dobner for another year.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It'll carry. Announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. Payment of bills.
It's here.
Okay,
Where do we start?
we start at 319,
Oh,
321, actually, sent
You
you
want
one.
to get one?
So,
But they can.
At 319, that's down for the bottom
Yeah, all the
page.
checks there.
We refunded the security deposit. Okay.
Yeah, but if you have questions, yeah.
That's easier to see what they are.
Yeah, do you have those bills? here?
Yeah.
Okay. We used to review them
Yeah, and I think
individually,
it's, yeah.
and there may be some I would like to look at.
So, but they are,
Yeah.
And this is the list.
See in your memo. Absolutely. I'm gonna just back right here.
Okay, there's a pack. Goodness. Well, that was that. And this was all the broadband things. Okay. Okay. More, there's more. This, well, this is the routine check from the appraisers, right?
yes, that's a monthly.
Monthly bill,
Mhm.
yep. That's normal.
Sorry.
Not more?
Those are for the cemetery. Yeah, it's not cemetery, not the cemetery committee, so they put it on.
That's
Or the
annual,
annual.
annual,
This is our monthly.
annual payment.
And that should be it. This
Yeah.
As we come around.
And these are,
For the cemetery.
oh, this is the cemetery committee,
Yeah.
got it. And did I got, this is,
Is that a rental return? Is that just a
no,
return?
this is the cleaning. I know that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
nothing. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Is that it?
That was- yeah,
Our payment
That's
of
it,
bills is
that's
our-
it.
Right.
That's it.
The bills, they just have to decide if everything looks good and.
Yeah, I make a motion to pay those bills as presented.
I second that motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. Opposed? I think there it is. There you go. All right, number 18, announcements. Board of Review training is gonna be on May 1st, 2023.
And that's here
It's gonna be here at 4.
at 6:30.
It's 6:30,
6:30.
yeah, on the 4th,
On May
On May
1st.
1st.
May
on
1st.
May 1st.
Yeah,
Okay, that's 6:30, and are we gonna do that in the small meeting room?
We could, yeah,
We're gonna do that online,
because it's gonna be, yes.
Yeah.
so we'll have this set up in the small
Yes.
meeting room, because it'll be online. Okay.
Right.
okay. B, Board of Review, May 4th,
That's
Right,
here,
from 4 to 6.
right,
and that'll be in this room,
right. Mhm.
and that's 2-hour meeting.
Yes, with
And the
the
assessor.
assessor, yes.
And he'll have everything, we're gonna have an open book what tomorrow?
Yes, open, yeah, I don't know if everybody knows, open book is tomorrow, but it's through the, by phone.
Telephone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call the assessor.
and the
if you have any
information is on the
questions.
website as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, so do we need to be here for that one?
No, no.
Town Officers Workshop, May 16th in Green Bay, or March 22nd through 25th webinars. I believe.
I'm planning to go down to the 16th.
All right, I need to know because they have to be in 10 days, at least 10 days prior.
Right, I'm planning to go to the
Rock Garden,
Rock Garden
okay,
on Bond Street in Green Bay. That's an all-day affair.
Yes.
It's like 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, something like
Is that
that.
what we usually went down to the,
This is the new
new
officer,
officers and continuing officers, 8
continue-
o'clock until 3:30.
right, at the Rock Garden.
I have that down as well. So I will
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
And you'll be
Okay.
out of town. Okay.
So you can let
Where
me
you
know next year, so Kevin, you're going to, okay. And I will need a sign check for
I
that.
think
Where
he won't get myself a residence.
you gotta get your signature. from the
Where you
bank,
going?
too.
You going
Oh,
outside?
yes.
So you can sign the check.
Yes, that's right.
And then to Sarah.
We'll have to do that the next week or so, or, yeah.
all three of us
Is it-
have to go?
What bank?
Well, we gotta do both things. I didn't even
Yeah,
talk to.
And
Associated.
Nicolay Bank too, well, we'll talk about that too, Nicolay Bank, you have to open an account for the
For the staff.
payroll, for a SEC. For your Medicare, or not SEC.
That's fine. I was just wondering, is it like a Sturgeon Bay run? Or is it-
Yeah, it's Sturgeon Bank, yeah.
Sturgeon Bay. So it's Bank of Luxembourg and it's a
We'll
social.
say SOP, and then either you and I will have to go to Nicolay.
Way to open.
All right.
And you have to get signatory cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we-
Yes.
But we have, but you have to make a motion.
To have.
Remember, she told us that we have to have a motion saying that Roy is off
Mm,
and
okay.
Kevin is on.
Oh, okay, okay.
You have to make a motion in our minutes so we can take that to.
Oh,
Oh, that's right, we ran into that before. Oh,
Yes.
Okay, but I can't make the motion.
no, you can't.
no,
I make the motion that we make a change to the signatories on our checking accounts. Both with Associated Bank as well as the Bank of Luxembourg. To remove Roy Engelbert as a signatory and to add Kevin Gillett as a signatory.
okay.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Yeah,
All
we don't do
opposed?
that, we'll have another month.
Yeah.
Hearing none, that will carry. I had missed one thing. Go ahead, let's finish.
I'll put that with the oath of office. That's where the change would be, okay.
Okay. We didn't finish D on the Board of Reviews, Wisconsin Towns Association
Association, okay.
Convention, October 22nd.
Yeah, I just wanted,
Through the 24th in the Dallas.
yeah, I just want to mention that that's a big convention and just to kind of prepare for that.
Yep.
in
And
October.
I'm expecting to go to that, so you know, ahead of time. I don't-
Okay, and we also have the Towns Association with Clay Banks, the 25th of May, right? Mhm.
25th of May?
Yes, I didn't know about that one until, yeah, should put that in there too. A lot of meetings.
25th, I will not be able to make the Towns Association.
Okay. this
I'll be at the
District,
Play base?
yes. And that's usually what, 6:37?
Lunch at
Lunch is at
6
6?
o'clock and meeting at 6:30.
May 25th.
Yeah, you said you
I
were
can
gonna
do
do
That's
that,
the Door
You
County
do that?
unit
Yeah, I'll go to
of the
that.
Wisconsin Towns Association.
but I will not be elected to be the chair.
I will look Ruth and then I'll call you.
I will not be
Sure.
I'm
railroaded.
available.
Okay,
Yeah, you got benefits. Get to meet Carol.
So announcements should be good, right? There should be nothing else we gotta discuss
that could
here.
be it, yeah.
Discussion and items intended for future meetings.
That's me.
Does anybody have anything?
Anything to add? don't
I would
think
like
so.
to bring up one thing, just because you guys had said to do this, when we had the last. Emergency meeting about the.
Oh, yeah.
About the changing the GFI plugs and updating the exterior lights. Do we put that on the next month's agenda?
Well, do you know what they're gonna, in our standing ordinance, I think we have.
Just take care of the properties.
We take care of the property up to, what is it, $500, I think, a month. If in event,
You're not in $500.
no, I don't think we are. And so that's the reason I'm asking that question, making sure, because I know our ordinance says that if that's, costs arise, things come up, things have to be done. And you have the authority to commit for the town for that. In this particular instance, it's not going to exceed the monthly allocation, if you will, of funds. So I would say that GFA outlet, the exterior outlet, and those couple of lights that need to be replaced.
Yeah, there'll be a couple, 2 GFIs, I think, 2 lights. And then we're gonna put a junction box for that
Yeah, right,
overhead light to come up, just so
Right.
everybody knows.
but that's gonna be a small amount of money.
Yes, you are gonna be $500.
No, it'll be under that. So I would say we wouldn't have to have that as an agenda item for approval.
Okay,
But if it gets anything beyond that, then we put that on the agenda, it's gotta be announced,
all right.
So that falls under our routine maintenance, that's incidental.
So authorize when the numbers come in as far as what the lights cost, just give it. to
Well,
Ruth and she can,
I don't know how you're handling that, we had some discussion last month or two about that credit card issue we had. So I don't know how you wanna handle that, Ruth.
Oh, yeah. Well, Roy turned over his credit card, so that one we can get rid of, and we were gonna put Kevin under my credit
Mhm.
card,
Correct.
so we only
Correct.
have one bill.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is
Because we had a
what, that's what I'm leading to.
Yes.
So that you can do that,
Mhm.
and then you have the ability to get those.
Yeah, we'll have to find out how to apply. for
All
that.
you're gonna do is call and tell them that you're putting one under you.
Did you see it?
I got it.
Okay, good, okay. Yeah, maybe.
so
I don't-
actually,
I don't-
very when I sent it, I grabbed all that stuff, because I knew they were coming around.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the slip.
We probably
I just went to Menards, I
Yeah.
picked up the exterior box. and
Yeah, that's true.
I just figured I'd try to switch it.
You turn it into.
Right, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, in that instance, that's what Roy would do.
Right.
He would go out, he
You
would.
fill out your expense box. Yeah, you got some of those.
Yeah, I'm sure in the file.
Right,
Now,
so then you would turn that into Ruth, and because we haven't yet straightened out the payment process, so that would be the way to handle it.
all right, perfect. Okay,
And if somehow or reason that didn't work,
In the general public. I don't have something to add.
Yeah. yeah, go ahead.
Okay, from a fire department standpoint. I'd like the town to consider turning the monies over that they received from the township of Nassau back to the fire department itself. The town, the village of Forestville has indicated that they would most likely return the money back over to the fire department. That's number one, and number two, I would like to see ATV, UTV ordinance, road use, roads incorporated by the town.
those are something that should be put onto the agenda for discussion.
I'm not asking Kennedy, something doesn't have to be next month or
Could be put on the agenda.
month after.
Yeah, you can put it on the agenda.
Are you talking like all roads, not just certain roads, all
Right.
roads, okay?
Opening up all roads to ATV and UTV.
That's an item for a future agenda.
Future, agenda, yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Yes. I think that should not be a problem.
It's on the agenda.
Any other discussion on that from anybody? All right, hearing none. The next town board meeting is going to be Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 at 6:30 PM at the town hall. Last item is adjourned, but I need a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Meeting is over.